Thank you for watching, liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing right now.
Hello everybody, my name is Anthony with LockerGnome.com and welcome to episode 1 in building your first iPhone application. Today we will be talking about the iPhone Sdk, what it includes, and also how to make your first ever iPhone application. So first off, if you haven't already, you need to head to developer.apple.com and you are going to need to download that iPhone Sdk. It's very important to be able to participate and learn in these tutorials. Also, you do not need to buy the developer account. Some people are misunderstood about what actually needs to happen in order to download the SDK. First, you need a developer's account. This can be a free account. You don't have to pay right off the bat, and then you just need to download it. So it's as simple as that. And if you are interested in having App Store submission, you can go check out their programs. I may have the link in an annotation somewhere around here. But other than that, you guys can go check that out. And remember, the link is developer.apple.com/iPhone. So what exactly you get with this iPhone SDK, you may ask, is the first 3 applications we are going to be focusing on is Xcode, Interface Builder, and the iPhone Simulator. Now, why am I just choosing these 3? Well, these are basically the foundation of building your iPhone application. You need Xcode for all the code and all of that stuff. Then you have Interface Builder for the interface, and then the iPhone Simulator for testing out your applications. So it's as simple as that. And let's get right into this. So we are going to head into Xcode, and you go to File, New Project. And I'm just going to give you a brief overview on understanding Xcode. So at first launch, you'll notice it says choose a template for your new project, and all of these options are templates that you can make your application. A navigation-based application is basically a drilled down table view like you see in your contacts list or anything of that sort. It's just a table view that displays a list of items, and it's very drilled down, meaning compact, and each view has another view which connects to it. Then you have your OpenGL application. This is mostly used for games, so we won't worry about this right now. It's for high quality animations and just game scenes and all that stuff. Then you have your tab bar application, a variety of different tabs which you can pinpoint to their location in either shape, size. You can even customize it with images, and obviously the position and the order. Then you have your utility application, which is just 2 views, and it's basically for one main view, then an info button. And what's cool about this, it's going to have a 180 rotation when it switches to the other view, so that's pretty cool. Then you have your view-based application. It's just one single template which you can mess around with to add more things on there. It's the second simplest application to use. I mostly use this most when I'm making my games and anything like that. Then you have window-based application. It's just a delegate and a window. It's the simplest application to use, and you could just, it's basically your starting point. You can keep adding on and on and on, and you won't have to worry about anything happening because, again, this is the simplest. Then you have your options over here. Use core data for storage. We don't even need to worry about that right now. That's for like applications like things and which needs data. So we'll select window-based application, and we will call this Hello World Tutorial. Now, if you guys are already familiar with Hello World, that's pretty much great for starting off this tutorial. Again, this will just be the foundation of learning the iPhone SDK as well as learning how to make your first application. So if you already are familiar with Hello World, again, that's great. It'll give you a jump on this tutorial. So on the top toolbar on Xcode, you have your overview, which has all your device lists and your preferences and your configurations and all that. Then you have your actions. This actually sets as a settings option for your application. You can add new files, so I pretty much don't think of it as an action rather than a setting. Then you have your breakpoints, which has breakpoints in your code. Then you have build, which just builds the application to your target. And then build and run actually builds it in the simulator or on your device. Then you have your tasks, and your task is basically when you build your application, you can see all the stuff running in the console, and you can stop the current task and all that stuff. Then your info button. The info button is very important. It's where you code sign your application, choose your SDK, and make comments about your application if you wanted to. And then on the left-hand side, you have Groups and Files window. Now, this Groups and Files window is very important. It has all your drop-downs. As you can see, you have your classes, your other sources, your resources, your frameworks, products, and then the other drop-downs as we go down. Now let me just explain what each folder means and what their purpose is. So your classes folder is basically where all your code is handled there. You have your 2 app delegates, which are the main foundation to all your code. Then in your other sources, you really don't need to ever touch this. The main.m just has a bunch of arrays that can go there and all that stuff. Your resources folder is mostly meant for images and source files, nothing really code, but rather images and videos and backgrounds, just anything that's not code. Then you have a plist, which is contained in your resources folder. This is where you see those icons in your applications. You got your bundle display name, which is the title that appears below the icon. Then you could choose an identifier for your application. That's just an example. And then right here, the main nim file base name. This is where you check off which application will load first. So that's it for the resources. Then in your frameworks, just the frameworks that help your application run. The 3 main ones are UI Kit, Foundation, and Core Graphics. Now, Core Graphics and UI Kit are mostly used for the user interface of your application, hardcore animation effects, and all that stuff. And Foundation is actually the back end of your application, how it runs performance and enhancement-wise. Then you have your products, which is just your application itself. You could right-click, reveal, and finder, and there's the IPA bundle right there. So let's head right into this tutorial and not waste any more time here now that I just gave you a brief overview of Xcode. Hopefully you'll mess around with it. I just had to go really quick because there is a lot of stuff to explain. However, there is a limited amount of time that I don't really necessarily have, but I would like to get this tutorial done as quickly and efficiently because there's a lot of code to explain when starting off. So first we're going to head into our appdelegate.h. Now your appdelegate.h is basically your header file. And what the header file means is where you're going to declare all your buttons, where you're going to declare all your interface actions. Just anything that's going to connect in your interface has to be declared in your header. So after the UI window, start window, hit enter, and we're going to add an interface builder outlet, short for IB outlet, of a UI label, and then star. And when you have the star, it's basically just commenting something. So we're going to comment the UI label and call it hello world label, and then semicolon. Semicolon is basically ending off the code. Some code uses the close brackets then semicolon, but for this code it's just going to be semicolon when you comment something. And what the interface builder outlet is basically going to connect to a UI label, and the UI label is a read-only text field. And what a read-only text field is basically when we add our editable text field, the text field is going to connect into our label. So whatever we write into the text field is going to appear in the label. Also, a UI label is just something you could write off, I don't know, on your interface like hello in order to just connect there. So now we're going to add something, another interface builder outlet, and this one's going to be a UI text field. And then the text field is going to be called main text field. Now the main text field, what it's going to do is display the text to the label. So it's basically setting the text that we are going to type in the text field to the target, which is the label. So that's basically what the UI text field does. And then after your app property, non-atomic retain, hit enter 2 times, and we're going to add an interface builder action. Now if you're not familiar with an interface builder action, what an outlet is, it's basically, I'm not sure how quite to explain this, but an action is when something's actually being pressed, if you so to speak, and an outlet's something that's basically connecting, so coming out into the code, like the text is going to come out into the label. The action is going to be going into the button. So the button is going to be called display hello world text. And what this is basically going to do is as soon as we press this button, the text in the outlet is going to be displayed in the label. So it kind of makes sense. I'm not really sure how to quite explain this sort of thing. You would have to basically make your own means to what an outlet action in an outlet is. Has many different terms. I could go on and on, but that's basically what I think of it. So then you have your appdelegate.m. You're going to go into there, and once you're at your appdelegate.m, we are going to add our first set of code to make this Hello World application work. So after your void application did finish launching code, which is basically saying that as soon as the application launches, what's going to happen. So as soon as the application launches, I think we should set a text color. So we are going to add a Hello World label. Sorry for that, guys. So a hello world label, and then star. Remember, we cannot capitalize the H. That was my mistake there. And basically, why are we calling this hello label? Well, in our .h, we controlled the UI label to hello world label. So our commentation is coming right back into our .h. And then we are going to go period text color equals, and then an open bracket, UI color, and then we are going to add a blue color. Then close bracket, semicolon. Now, what the text color is basically going to set the label's color to blue, and a UI color code is basically just storing the color to blue. So then hit enter, and if we wanted to, we could also add a set text that the label is going to appear, and we can easily do this by typing hello world label dot period, and then text, just text, not text color, but just text. And then after the text, we can just go equal, and then add parentheses, then what we wanted to type. So hello guys, and then close parentheses, close quotes, I'm sorry, then semicolon. So that's basically just setting the text as soon as the application loads. Instead of it just saying untitled or leave it blank, let's just have it say hello guys. So that's basically what it's saying there. So that's pretty simple and easy to do. Then you have your code window make key visible. This is just making the window appear on your application launch. Now we are going to add that IB action back of display hello world text, and then open brackets, and then enter 2 times. We're going to call it hello world label, going back to that, and then text, and then equals open bracket main text field dot text space copy close bracket semicolon. And what this is basically doing is the text is going to be displayed with the label. So whatever this text is, whatever is displayed in the text field is going to be displayed back in the label, which we made blue, and the set text right now is hello guys, but as soon as we change it and hit display hello world text, it will be changed. So then close brackets there, and then we could hit file save. And now that we're done there, we can go into our interface builder files and select our main window.xmb, and we are going to launch interface builder. So in Interface Builder, if you are unfamiliar with it, you are going to have to go to Tools, select your library, select your inspector. Now your library is basically where all your tools in your interface is held, and your inspector or your attributes controller is actually where all your actions and everything else is going to be set. And this is just your documents folder, if you even can call it that. It's your Xcode project window, which holds your app delegate code, which we declared. Again, back to the .h. All of our declarations are here, ready to be set to whatever images we select. So we are first going to add a button and call it display text. And then we are going to add a UI text field, and just put it right there, make it a bit bigger. And then the last thing we're going to add is our label. Now, just to prove that our code works, I'm not going to add anything to the label, nothing to the text field. And all we're going to do is select our app delegate and our documents and connect our hello world label to our label. You can just drag and drop, then our main text field to our text field. And then under our received actions, we have a button, and we will connect that and select touch up inside. Then go file save, interface builder, quit. So that's basically the hello world application. We will go ahead and go to build and go. And the code is going to compile in the iPhone simulator. And here we go. Now, as you can see here, it just says hello because we didn't make that label bigger. I will go back and actually show you that. So just to prove this works right now, we'll just write hello. Display text, it displays hello. Hello, what's up? Display text, and we will just make this bigger here. I apologize for that. So go back in Interface Builder, and this is actually something really good. All you do is drag and make it bigger, and make sure it fits the screen. So maybe we'll start it here. We'll actually center this. So we'll just go over here, alignment, center. So then go back and build and run. And as you can see, hello guys, as we declared right here, the text as soon as the application launches, and we will type in not much. Display text, and not much appears. So that was my quick Hello World application tutorial. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Rate 5 stars and comment. And this was Anthony, lead developer for Santa Sleigh, now in the App Store with lockergnome.com, and I thank you for watching.